Hi everyone, I'm Angela Palmer and I'm excited to share with you our new 2024 to 2025 annual catalogue. So I'm going to give you a little overview and a walkthrough of this catalogue, and then other members of the Crafting Across Borders team will go through other sections in more detail. So let's take a look. Now you will notice that this catalogue is a little bit different to catalogues that we've had before, but I'm excited about these new changes and I think it will help us have a better understanding of the products that Stampin' Up have on offer, and also they've set it out in a way to help you with your crafting and stamping as well. So you're going to find this table of contents right at the beginning very helpful, and it gives you a good overview of the catalogue. So we've got a progression from step-by-step crafting to quick and easy options to creativity your way, so involving more stamps and dies and more products and sweets and things. But there's some exciting additions to this catalogue. We've got a section on stamping techniques, reasons to craft, crafting techniques, as well as our usual things like accessories, colour and things like that. Now you'll also find this index very useful. So that's right at the back of the book, and I'll share that soon. But if you're not quite sure where to find things, refer to the index and that will show you where to go. Another thing I'd like to point out to you is this code down here. If you see this code next to product in the catalogue, it means that particular product isn't shown in this book. Like it might be a punch and there's no actual image of the punch, but it will give you the name of it, the price and the code, and then you can look on it online to find out more about it and see what it's like. We're going to have a look at the types of stamps. So Stampin' Up started off as a company creating stamps, and these are the two kinds of stamps that it has. The first one is cling, which was its original one, which is a red rubber stamp. So great for your stamping. And the other kind is photopolymer. Now these are great because you can see through them, so they make placement easy, particularly for things like two-step stamping. So when you see a stamp set listed, look out to see if it's a cling or photopolymer stamp, and if it doesn't have it in the catalogue, check it out online. This is the Million Sales Milestone Achievers. So these are demonstrators who have achieved $1 million in sales. Now we have this particular stamp set here. That means the demonstrator has had the opportunity to go to Stampin' Up and help create a stamp set that they like. So two of the stamp sets down the bottom here have been featured in the past in previous catalogues and are carrying on. But this new stamp set here, You Are Beautiful, is a new one. So this one here, as it says, is a cling stamp. So like I featured before about the different types of stamps, and it is created by Margaret Van Veet. Apologies if I said that incorrectly. But that gives you an overview of a wonderful stamp set that she has made that is featuring for the first time in this catalogue. Turning the page, we have storage options. So Stampin' Up has created a variety of ways to store, whether it's your ink pads, your blends, some blender pens, punches, and other Stampin' Up products. There's even cases, which I find very useful for putting my embellishments and things in. And of course there are other tools and things like your take your pick tool and things as well. So this is, you'll come to these pages 94 and 95 to check out some of the storage and tool options. Then we're going to go to page 112 and 113, and you get to see what ribbon Stampin' Up has available. So there's an image here of all the different styles and colours, and then you can have a description here of what is available. Turn the page and you get to see the embellishments that Stampin' Up has. So they're nice big images and you can see what is available, and then the products are listed here. Some of them you'll know the colours because it is in colours, like number 7 is a 2024 and 2026 in colour shimmer gems. Other ones you may not necessarily, it just says rainbow adhesives, it doesn't specify the colour. So if you'd like to know, if you go online, you'll be able to see what colours it refers to. Then moving over a few pages, or to the next page rather, we have sticky business. So this is Stampin' Up's adhesives. Now it's a wonderful range of adhesives here, and I want you to see this reference over here. So some adhesives are good for cardstock and paper, others for ribbon, some for embellishments, die cuts, and 3D projects. So if you look for these symbols next to each adhesive, you can see what it's suitable for. So for example, multi-purpose liquid glue works well for cardstock and paper, for ribbon, for die cuts, as well as 3D projects. But things like mini dimensionals work well just for cardstock and die cut pieces. The tear and tape is good for cardstock, it's good for ribbon, and also 3D projects. So have a look in the corner and see which particular projects and types of products each adhesive is suitable for. So that's a really cool and useful reference there. Right, skipping a couple of pages. Here we have embossing folders. So this is a reference to the embossing folders that Stampin' Up has available. And you'll see a slight contrast in size. This is what the standard size used to be. Some of the newer ones are actually larger. So if you want to know what embossing folders we have, you can see these here. And we have some hybrid ones too. Hybrid is when it includes the dies and the folders. So not only does it emboss the cardstock, but it will cut it out at the same time too. Like I said earlier, this will probably be a page that you will refer to often. It is organized in groups. So for example, adhesives, embellishments, and it lists some of them, all the dies in alphabetical order. We've got inks, papers, punches, stamp sets, and things like tools and storage. So come to the back and have a look. If you're looking for something, you could have a look here. So let's, for example, say that I'm looking for a punch and I want to find the B punch. So it tells me it's on page 75. So if I have a look at page 75, here it is, and I can see the B punch and what it punches out. However, some punches aren't featured in the catalogue. So for example, if I look for the Heartful Hexagon punch on page 96, we go there, I can't actually see a punch. I can see this card with a sample with the punched out hexagon shape, but the punch isn't actually on the page. However, down the bottom here, you will see reference to the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. It's got the code and the price, and it's got that symbol I pointed out earlier. So you can go online and have a look and see what that particular punch looks like. If we turn the page, we can see Stampin' Up's offer about signing up and becoming a Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you love Stampin' Up products, enjoy building relationships, love being creative, want to be part of a fun crafting community, and enjoy leading creative experiences, then it's time to sign up as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So if you love these kind of things, maybe you've wondered, should I become a demonstrator? You can check out more information here with this QR code or this reference, or contact your demonstrator that's part of this team and they can tell you more about it. We'd love for you to join the family. And over here, if you're thinking you'd like to gather with others and do a workshop, you can find out more about doing this kind of thing and what rewards are on offer for gathering and joining together with others. I'd also like to point out on page 144 the Angel Policy. So this is a stamp set and it has Stampin' Up's copyright stamp in it. So if you like to make cards and you want to sell them, if you're selling your projects and it uses Stampin' Up image, you should be using the Stampin' Up copyright stamp, stamping on the back of your card like this so that people know that it's a Stampin' Up image. And this stamp set allows you to do that with this stamp here. So if you want to know more about that, have a look online or ask your demonstrator. So there is an overview of some of the things from the front and the back of the catalogue. Now I'm going to hand it over to other team members from the Crafting Across Borders team, and they are going to go through some of the other sections in more detail and share that with you. So enjoy the continuation of our walk through this wonderful annual catalogue.
I'm Joanne Rogers. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I'm so happy that you are part of our annual catalog celebration. So it's so fun to be able to open up this catalog now and be able to show you things. So I'm going to start pretty much right at the very beginning with step-by-step crafting. So there's a great 2-page spread here to show you what step-by-step crafting is. Really, it's talking about our kits. And so the kits there's all kinds of great things about our kits, but what you're going to find, and Stampin' Up! Has pointed out here, very portable and convenient. You can take them anywhere on the go. If you travel, if you babysit, if you are headed out for coffee with friends, take one of these little boxes with you. And this is just how large it actually is. This is the brand new By Your Side kit, which I'll show you in just a minute. Yes, simple instructions are where it's at. So we don't want anything fussy here. We don't want a lot of dies and layers and techniques. What we want is to be able to get card making done super quick. And that's what this is all about. Super quick, but also where you can be with your friends and just have a great time. And then share the fun. So that's all about being with friends. They make great gifts. You know, they're perfect underneath the Christmas tree, great for a birthday, all kinds of things. So I have to say, I am a bit of a kit convert. So I didn't really care for them before. I'm learning and starting to realize that they really are one of the best ways that we can craft and get other people involved in our crafting, so that we're not just in our craft rooms all by ourselves. So here they are, the kits collections. Now you'll notice, and I think Angela talked about it a little bit, and we'll talk more about it, but there's a QR code on lots of the pages in the catalog. That is the generic Stampin' Up! QR code. So if you want to get to your demonstrators area, make sure you're using your demonstrators link to get there. And you'll see that many of us have put our information on the back of our catalogs with our own QR code, rather than heading to the Stampin' Up! One, because then you just have to go and look for us after you get there. So just a note about how to use those. So this is the By Your Side kit. Inside you have everything that you need. So let me just open it up here. So this particular one is a stamp set. So it comes with a stamp set, and it also has everything that you need, including a block. So it has one color of ink that comes in a Stampin' Spot, and then everything else just comes shrink wrapped into its own little plastic. So you have your instructions and you have everything that you need to craft with. And you have a great box. So the box you can use to keep it in, or you can also use it for other things. So kits really are all inclusive, meaning that you really don't need to have much, because also included are the adhesives. So if you had your own adhesive, perfect. But if not, go ahead and use what Stampin' Up! Has. Showcasing some of the more recent kits right here on this page. To show you some of the fun ones, there's ones for kids. There's ones that have some fun folds. This one here, which is the honeycomb one, has the pull-out honeycomb, so the pop-ups. This one here is got foil and a little bit more fancy. There's something for everybody in the sets of the kits. So then we have, and this is talking a little bit more about what you can see. Not all kits have cards. Some kits have tags. Some kits have 3D items in them. So you can pick and choose. Get together with friends. You can have one kit, she can have another one, or all of your friends can have something different, and you're just able to have a community, have some fun, have some laughs, have some goodies, and have something creative at the end of it as well. There also is Paper Pumpkin in North America, and Paper Pumpkin is a subscription service that you can get so that you get your inspiration directly delivered to your doorstep once a month. The thing with this one is that you don't know what you're getting necessarily. There'll be some sneak peeks, but you don't know what you're getting. I do have some Paper Pumpkin folks who have been with me for quite a while, and sometimes they find that they skip a month because they really don't like that sneak peek, and other times they say, yep, I definitely want to get that one, and they're not disappointed. Now the thing with kits, you need to make them. So you need to get out there and just play, and you need to just create. And one thing about them is that we can always amp them up as well. And I'm going to show you that when we get to our live on May 10th. or 11th if you're in the South Pacific. So quick and easy options. So after kits, there's also the next step up. Now this is a great page because it shows you all kinds of different ideas. Now if you like things that are a little bit more busy, I consider this to be a little bit more busy. There's all kinds of different patterns on the paper, on the envelopes, but these ephemera packs are really quite cool. And the ephemera packs are self-adhesive die cuts. They're a little bit thicker weight that we can create our own cards with. Quick and easy when you need something on the run, you're headed out the door, you're late for a birthday party and you forgot to make a card, then this is what you want to use. Or if you just want to get together and stamp with friends, this is what you want to use. You don't want to pull out your stamp and cut and emboss machine and your embossing heat tool. These are wonderful for really fast and fun stamping. So you're going to pick and choose. So there's all printed pieces, it says, all occasion stamp sets. You get to mix and match stamp sets. They've suggested one here for the front of the catalog. You can craft a stash. You can make up a whole bunch. So if you know you need 20 birthday cards between now and the end of June, then go ahead and make all 20 and you are set. All you have to do is pull them out and address them and send them out in the mail. More fun and less time. So we're all about trying to get creative in a short period of time because we all have commitments. We all have obligations. And that's what this catalog really is all about. So this is a great page right here, top 10 crafting essentials. So most of you already know what these are, but if you need a quick place to go, I would mark this page in your catalog because it's got your your paper snips, your glue. All of us, I think, use this multi-purpose liquid glue, our dimensionals, which we love. It also has some of the Stampin' Spots. So this is the assortment that Stampin' Up! Has in this catalog. There's your solid blocks, which we all need to be able to stamp with. This is a great stamp set that you can use over and over and over again, and they've showcased it here. Punches, so the one that it was sold out for quite a while, the modern oval punch. Your blank canvas, which is your note cards and your envelopes, which we're going to use as well. And then our simple chamois. You need to clean up after you've stamped, right? And then number 10, your demonstrator. So you have us 6 demonstrators here, one of which is your demonstrator. And really, we are your gatepost. We have the information and you want to connect with us if you have any questions. Okay, so mix and match. So you want to start with your note cards, which are pre-packaged, pre-designed, really. Then you're going to take an ephemera pack, and there are 4 different ones here. There's one that is more words and sayings, one that is sort of all occasion types of things. So there's something for kids, something for pet lovers, something for birthdays, something for the outdoors. This one here is really all about flowers. So if you are a flower person, that's the one you want to get. And this one is banners, labels, and things like that. And then you mix and match them with a stamped sentiment. So they had a different one on that top 10, but here is another one this one's perfect for all occasions. Very simple font, but I like that there's sort of the script writing as well. So you start with that, and then you can create all kinds of cards. Look how many different versions. So this one here is just the cards in the envelopes and the ephemera pack. Then we move into the second level, that is the cards, envelopes, ephemera pack, and the sentiments and the images. Okay, so we've got our sentiments. So there's 2 ephemera packs here. And then down at the bottom, cards, envelopes, the ephemera pack, sentiments and images, and stamped sentiments. So they've thrown in a memento stamp pad. So look how many options there are just on this one page. And that's what I love about this catalog. There are so many options. So let's skip over to the next page. Then we're getting into a little bit of where the catalog starts to become a teaching tool. So we haven't had this so much in the past. It's been in there a little bit, but this one is very much more a teaching tool. There's techniques at the back, which another one of our Crafting Across Borders team will get to. But here's your basic card design. So if you have Stampin' Write markers instead of ink pads, then you have everything that you need to be able to create. So they've said layer it with a little bit of some of our great designer paper onto some cardstock. Now, one of the fabulous things, and probably what I enjoy the most about this catalog, is this little bit down at the bottom of page 22. So if you didn't notice this, I think you probably did, but these are some sketches that you can use and incorporate into your own card making. And what you'll find is that these sketches make their way throughout this entire catalog. So we have 22 different sketches down here. So if you're ever at a loss, you just flip to this page and you say, okay, well, I'm going to, close your eyes and stick your finger on one right there, which is, I'm between two. So I'm going to say this guy. That's the design you're going to craft with today. You pull out the papers that you want to play with. You pull out the stamp sets and you just put it into that format and you're done. You don't have to do all that thinking is done for you. So lots of options there. Then we get into the color family coordination. So our 4 color families, the subtles, brights, regals, and the neutrals. And what's cool is that this particular one right here, if you flip back over here, is this template. Okay, so it is that layout, pretty close anyway. And so you'll find that throughout the catalog, you're going to see these ones. They're even marked in some places, which I'll show you on the next page. Flip over the page. Here we start with some more fun. There's that stamp set. There's the stamp set that was in the top 10. But this one here is super cute too. We used to have more of these types of stamps. And I'm glad the Stampin' Up! Is bringing them back because they are all occasion. Really, you can color these in. You can leave them black. You can make a little coloring book for kids. There are so many different things that you can do with these cute stamps and all of those words. So take a look over here. There's all kinds of different ideas, again, for cards, all kinds of different ways to put your paper together. And if you notice over here, there's a little picture of one of the layouts, and it shows you, rather than just having the picture of the layout, here's what it looks like if you were to use something from this stamp set and put it together into this card. So there's so much inspiration in this catalog that you are just going to love playing with it. Then we get to our Memories Plus, which are pre-done cards. They're a little bit thicker, a little bit more cardstocky. And this one's called Thoughtful Journey. This is gorgeous. And I'm sure you've noticed this particular collection in the catalog. Unbounded Beauty is more of a flowery look. This one is here more of a watercolor kind of look. And there's Memory and More card packs and our photo pocket pages. That was actually hard to say. And it shows how you can do quick scrapbooking with these packs as well. Turn them into cards. All you need is some card bases and you've got your cards already. And it shows you down here what they used. They used basic black marker, basic white assorted Memories and More cards and envelopes, which fit the different sizes in the packs. And then just your stamp and seal. And then I think we only have like 1 or 2 more pages. This one here, we were not able to actually pre-purchase, so I didn't get to play with this one. But this is great because the paper comes, so it's designer series paper, 12 by 12, beautiful colors in here, and it's coordinated with a stamp set as well. But there are 2 pages here, 2 different pages, so there'll actually be 4 pages in total, and use the elements. They're actually not even, you don't need to cut them out, sorry, they're pre-cut for you so that all you have to do is put some dimensionals on the back or some glue where you've created some great 3D items here. You've got some boxes here or some tags or some cards. There's all kinds of things that you can do with this. So that is really what's fabulous about this catalog, is that it focuses on us getting more productive, on us creating wonderful things for our friends and our family. So I hope that you really don't skip over this part of the catalog. Make sure that you come back here and absorb and look at all of those layouts and sketches. And we're going to have all kinds of fun things about sketches too when we get to our event on May 10th and May 11th. So now how about we turn it over to our next presenter so that she can talk about creativity your way.
Hi there, I'm Jen, and thanks to Joanne for the previous section of the catalog. I'm going to continue on page 30. So let me just jump to the catalog here. So this section is called Creativity Your Way, right there, starting on page 30. I love this layout of all those ink pads. It looks so gorgeous. So this section is where you're going to find a lot of the new bundles and suites and a lot of the regular tools that you might have used before. So if you don't have your catalog out, you might just want to pull it in just to be able to follow along with me, okay? So the first thing I want to point out is just this beautiful crafting space. I love all her little organizing tips here. So let's just turn over to page 34 so you can really see a suite in action. So this is the start of the suite, and a suite is a grouping of product that includes a bundle. So here a stamp set and a dies and other products that coordinate, like the embellishments and the designer series paper that you see here. There's one easy to order number at the top here with the price, and the price does include the discount on the bundle, which usually get 10% off. And you can order any of the products individually if you prefer. All the item numbers are down here. So I'll just jump to the next suite so you can see it's similar look and layout. And you can see projects that are made with this suite on the left-hand side of the page, and then all the products here on this side of the page. And you can see, if you look down here, it'll tell you the size of the designer series paper. So a 12 by 12 or 30.5 centimeters by 30.5 centimeters. It also tells you the size of the largest dies, so you can get a sense of how big they are. And you can see in this bundle that the embellishments are included. Wildly Flowering. So this is one of my favorites in the book. And I just want to point out here that in this particular suite collection, there's an embossing folder as well as embellishments and the designer series paper and the bundle. So you need to read all this to see what is there. I also want to point out too that when you see this, and I'm going to just hold this up to the camera, when you see that there's kind of highlights on the stamp set, that means that that there is a die that matches. So here there'll be a die that matches and so on with each of those little pieces. But you can also see that there are some extra dies included, and it is the same for other stamp sets as well, or bundles. That in this case, there's some nice shapes, which is part of what I like about this. Let me see what else. You can also see in these suite pages an enlarged picture of the gems. So you get more of an idea of what detail is on there and what size it is. And then finally, the other thing I want to point out about these suite pages is on the left-hand side, down at the bottom here, hard to see probably on the camera, but hopefully if you have your catalog, you can check it out. I'll just hold it up here. What it is a color combination. So you can see here that it says Wild Wheat, Mossy Meadow, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Early Espresso, and Crumb Cake. So these are all the colors that are in the paper. And any embellishments that would be there would also follow that color scheme. So that is a really nice thing that they've done. It's right there. So this one here says Country Woods, and it's got a double page layout. So there's all these beautiful ideas, and the double page is kind of an indication of what's coming. And that is that there are 2 bundles included and 2 designer series papers included in this suite up here. So you can see it's more money, of course, but it's got all these extras. This also has embellishments, embossing folder, and a package of 2 ribbons. So again, each thing is available individually. Each bundle is available individually, but if you want something that all coordinates together, then this would be great to get. This one is actually $209. So that means it's over $200, which means you get host benefits. Now, this is Canadian, so I apologize if that is not the case for other countries. I'm assuming it is. It's just a different price point. So just have a look at that. So although this is more money, it actually will be most likely qualifying you for host benefits, and so you're going to get an extra bunch of products. The start of the bundles. So on this very start of the page, you can see actually the stamp, cut, and emboss machine and any of the products that go with that, okay? And then here, so it's a slightly different layout. We've got the sample above and then the bundle below. And just notice also that the bundle always includes that 10% off when you get the 2 items together. And so in this case, the bundle is some dies and some masks. So again, just read what they say there so you'll know what's included. When we jump to page 58 and 59, we've got kind of a couple of unique bundles here. So we've got the samples above and the bundle here down below, but you have a choice with this bundle. You can pick dies or punches, and there's a slightly different price depending on which version you pick, and they're all here. So that's kind of nice. So if you don't have a machine and you want to use a punch, or you like a quick and easy solution, you can do that. But if you prefer dies because you get more for your money with dies, you can do that. Same with this one over here. There's either a die or a punch for this cute little tab. I love this. I want to get this and put little tabs on all my catalogs and things like journals and stuff like that. So very cute. Okay, so those are kind of unique. And then starting on page 60, you got more bundles. And these are frequently where the new products are too. So you're going to see a lot of bundles you've never seen before here. So again, the samples and then what's included in the bundle and the individual prices for each item as well. And let's just jump here to page 62. Sometimes a bundle isn't necessarily stuff that'll die cut out, but some fun stuff like these. These are little pockets. They make little pockets, and you can see them in here in some of the little samples. And this one here makes little spirals, so they're fun. Some pretty snapdragons. So that is basically it for the bundles and the suites that are new. And then I'm going to turn it over to the next presenter, who's going to take you from page 74 on.
Hi Stampers, this is Judy Anderson from the United States. Thanks Jen for bringing us through those beautiful suites and those wonderful bundles. Can't wait to start using several of those. Now my section of the catalog is the Encore section. You're going to find this section on pages 74 through 80. And these pages include popular items from previous catalogs here and in our online store. Now, I'm going to talk about our online store in just a little bit. As you browse these pages, you're going to notice that the images are not 100%. And you're going to notice that we've paired the coordinating dies and punches right here with the stamp sets. Oh my gosh, you are going to love that these are easily accessible without having to look through the catalog pages and flipping back and forth to find that coordinating product. Now, I want to remind you though, although they are shown together, they do not have a bundle price. These pages also don't have individual samples. You'll find a few samples here on page 74, but you can see samples by scanning this QR code to visit Stampin' Up's Pinterest page. And just put in the search bar the stamp set or the dies or the punch, and you should find a lot of ideas right there. Now, I mentioned to you that you're going to find more Encore products in our online store in the online exclusive section, but how do you get there? Well, on the inside of the back page, there's a QR code. You just take your phone, hold it over it, put it on the photo mold, it's going to scan it, and just click on that website and it'll bring you right there. Now, I am going to mention that some of us have put our own QR code here with our online store, directing you to our own online store. Once you do that, you're going to come to a page that looks like this. And it's going to say sign in. If you have an online account already, it's going to you're going to click on this. It'll ask you for your sign-in name and your password. If you do not have an online account, you're going to have to make one and make sure that you name your demonstrator as your demonstrator there. You should only have to do it once. But once you're there, to the online store, this is what it will look like at the top of the page. It'll have your country. This one shows mine because this is a picture of my online store. It should have your country. You cannot shop in another country other than where you reside. So make sure your country's there and make sure that your demonstrator is named and their photo is here. And it'll say shopping with, in my case, Judy Anderson. In your case, whichever one of the 6 of us are your demonstrator. You want to check that every time you go into the store, you guys. Okay? The next step is you're going to go over to the menu here, click on this, and it's going to do a drop-down menu. In that drop-down menu, you want to search for online exclusives. Click on that, and it'll bring you there. And that's where you can check out the items that have been carried over and the new items that are added almost every month. After the suites and bundles and the Encore stamps and tools, we feature our standalone stamps in the Stamp and Shoutout section. These are stamps without coordinating suites or tool. Page 82 and 83 features that are reversible stamps. Now, these stamps, you can stamp one side, you can color in, and the other has details. Now, you're also going to find other stamp-related products on these pages to help you get started. The blocks to mount your stamps, the piercing mat to use under those photopolymer stamps, and don't forget your Stampin' Scrub and your Stampin' Cleaner, because believe me, these are the cheapest washer and dryer where you will ever purchase. Now I'm going to skip on to page 86. So on page 86, you're going to find two-step stamping stamps with a new stamp set, but you'll notice on page 87 they have two featured stamp sets that are also two-step stamps. I love this section because so many people will ask me, what's two-step stamping? Well, right here it tells you step 1 and step 2. Two-step stamps are either a fill-in stamp or what I call builder stamps that you use to build an image. And on here you will notice that you have the car, but then they built on the guy driving, they attached it to the side. Our next page on 88 and 89 talks about changing the look of your projects just by changing the colors you choose. On here, I forgot to mention, this stamp set is at 100%, and so is the stamp set Under the Moon. I can't wait to get my hands on this stamp set. So I'm always telling my customers, create a card in one color palette, then choose a completely different color palette and make that exact card again. And just see how the look and the feel of that card changes, but just by changing those colors up. Next, we have our background stamps. And our background stamps here on page 90, the leaf collection, is at 100%. And then below here, there's your featured ones that are shown at a smaller percent. And these are also stamps that are returning. So I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough and look forward to the next one.
Hi, this is Bernie from Crafting Across Borders, and I have the exceptional pleasure of going through some technique pages with you in the brand new annual catalogue. And this particular section I think is really amazing because Stampin' Up have put together all these different techniques and they've grouped them together. They've shown you how you can use different products to create different techniques, and they've put them all together and they've given you some ideas, which I think is absolutely great. So on page 118 of the catalogue, we begin to see the beginning of the technique section, and as you can see here on the catalogue, it starts with the watercolor techniques. So when you're looking at watercolor techniques, it's telling you right on the bottom what the must-haves are. So you need some fluid 100 paper, you need some stays on, and you've got our two different colors. We've got the jet black and the saddle brown, as well as the refills. And also really important when you're working with stays on, you actually need to have a particular cleaner for it, and it's mentioned there as well. Then there are some recommendations of what would be awesome stamps to get that would be really a good type of stamp to use with the technique. Now if we look over the page, you can see they have used this pear stamp set, which is called Penciled Pear, and they're giving you an example here to paint with water. It's explaining exactly what you want. You need a water painter and the pricing is there. It's explaining to you why we're using stays on, because it's permanent, and working with water colors with a permanent outline, you're not going to lose, it's not going to bleed into that. Or alternatively, you may wish to use some pencils, and they have their pencils listed there as well. watercolor pencils on the different families, as well as blending pens, because you can then color it in and use your blending pens to just create a softer tone. I just love how they are just giving, especially the new to crafter that hasn't yet perhaps got any idea of what they need, grouping it all together makes so much sense. This recommended stamps, when we're using pencils, it's also a helpful thing to have an open design, as we would call this, where your lines are nice and open. And this Lifetime of Love stamp set is exactly that. So that's really, really awesome. Now, if you're wanting to create more of a softer sort of background water, you can use a spritzer. And so the spritzers are mentioned there. Again, we've got the Fluid 100 paper, and in this particular case they used a painted lavender. So cool. Pastels, if you like chalks or pastels, they are mentioned here, and the recommended stamp set is put there for you too, and I think it's just brilliant. Now if we turn the page, there are a few other techniques mentioned in here as well, but I do just want to show you on page 122, we're looking at shaker cards. Isn't that cool? What do you need for a shaker card? Again, it's telling you clear medium envelope shaker card must-haves. In the middle, it's telling you you'll need some tear and tape. It's telling you you're going to need some clear medium envelopes, and of course we need something to shake. And so those are some suggestions there for you. And if you want to replicate this particular picture, there's the stamp set that's mentioned and the little frosted dots as well. If you're wanting to do a window sheet shaker card, then the window sheets are mentioned here as well. For that, you'll need foam adhesive strips. That's in the same place, as well as your loose embellishments. So there's some suggestions over there that are slightly different. So really, really awesome suggestions here for shaker cards. Now we have a particular type of technique that is called using blending, or using masks, or using stencils is a different way to know what. And again, what they're telling you here is if you're wanting to do some blending, you're going to need blending brushes. You're going to need a stamp set and masks that work together. And in Stampin' Up, they are all numbered numerically, so that's pretty cool. Or alternatively, you could use a stamping brayer to get you some options as well. And here are some amazing little designs if you're wanting to do some masking. And if you want to do some masking, then we have masking paper. And again, all of this is listed together under the techniques. What about texture? Do you want to do some embossing? Do you want to use embossing paste? Anything where we're working with embossing are on pages 126 and 127, and explaining exactly what you need. You're going to need your Versamarks, you're going to need powders, you're going to need a tool, all listed together. Or if you're wanting to go with the pastes, all together, embossing pastes, palette knives, and of course a silicone craft sheet. And then coming to the last, this is just looking at dry embossing, which is another technique, of course. And then all the different dry embossing folders are listed here for you all together. Some are 3D and some are just ordinary and some are hybrids. So I just think that this is an incredible way that Stampin' Up have put this together. I want to show you very quickly in the index, in the table of contents, you will find crafting techniques towards the bottom, pages 118 to 131. So I hope you will be inspired in this particular section of the catalogue. Thank you. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristy and I'm excited to share with you about colour and all things colour inside our new catalogue. So let's look at page 132 to 133, and first off you're going to see this amazing colour wheel right here. It's a long time since Stampin' Up! Have given us a colour wheel of some sort, and I love this one here, how we have all of our colours that we already know, red, green, blue, yellow, our primary, our secondary, and even our tertiary colours are right here in our wheel. And then they've given us our Stampin' Up! Colours that go along with those colours in the middle. Now, the other thing that Stampin' Up! Have done to make it super easy for us is given us some suggestions over here on page 133 on how we can utilise the colour wheel in our projects. So let's have a look at some of those. The first one we have is monochromatic. Now monochromatic is when we pick two colours, sometimes even three colours, that are next to each other in the colour wheel. So for example, we have petal pink, calypso coral, and if you look right here on our colour wheel, we've got petal pink and calypso coral right there. You can make it a third and add Cajun craze if you wish, or even flirty flamingo, but any colours next to each other are going to look great together. So here's some other ideas of colour combinations for you. We have lemon lime twist and granny apple green. I'll move these other two so you can get a good look at those. And then another one is highland heather and gorgeous grape. So some amazing colour combinations that you can utilise in your projects. The next one we're going to look at is complementary, or what I like called split complementary. These are colours that are opposite on the colour wheel. So for example, our Christmas colour, red and green, are completely opposite. Now if you're never sure, you can always simply grab a ruler as well to help you find your opposites, as we don't have a wheel currently that you can move around. So let me show you some colour combinations that you can do with this one. We have here Cajun Craze and Coastal Cabana, Lemon Lolly and Bubble Bath, and Garden Green and Floaty Flamingo. So there are some colour combinations that are opposite ends of our colour wheel. Now let's come down here to this one, analogous, I can't say that, but anyway, this here is colours, or three colours that are side by side in the colour wheel. Now the way this is worked out is not necessarily colours up here like we have with our monochromatic. These are colours I'm talking about using our secondary and tertiary colour lines. So we can simply pick out a red violet, a red, and a red orange colour. So if we look at red violet, we've got three colours here that cover that range. Here's our red, we've got another three, and then here's our red orange. So here's a couple of those colour combinations for you that we can select. I've got real red, calypso coral, and petuna pop. So that's selecting one from red violet, which was this one, a red colour, and a red orange colour. And then here's another one for you. Blueberry Bushel, Summer Splash, and Old Olive. I quite like that one. And we have Azura Afternoon, Blackberry Bliss, and Fresh Freesia. Okay, so that's just grabbing three of our tertiary and secondary colours and picking one of the colours in those groups. Now our final colour that we have is triadic. Not good with my pronunciation today. And these are three colours that are on the wheel that are evenly spaced around. So here's some examples of how we can do that. And what I mean evenly spaced, this is once again looking at the inner circle. So we can grab our blue green, for example, and then let's grab our orange, and finally let's grab a color over here. We might go red violet, okay, in between here. Okay, so this is our three-way color combinations. So we have Summer Splash, Peach Pie, and Berry Burst. about Blackberry Bliss, Copper Clay, and Mossy Meadow. It's a great masculine colour. And what about Fresh Freesia, Wild Wheat, and Pretty Peacock? So those are colours. Selecting 3 evenly spaced colours using the inner circle and then picking some colour from the outer circle. Okay, another beauty or something else that you'll find in the catalogue is as you're flipping through the catalogue, we're going to find some colour coordination symbols. So let's look over here to page 65 and we have our Attention Shoppers bundle. We can see a selection of projects created using this product range, and then up here we have our colour wheel and you can see the types of colours that we've used. So in this instance, they have selected split complementary colours to create this project here. Another one here is on page 72. We can see once again that we have colours that are next to each other in the colour wheel. So these are the analogous colours. Anyway, that colour wheel, that's that one there. And you can see we created these projects featuring this colour combination that has been created. So I love how we can create our own colour combinations for using our colour wheel that they've got here. Now, as we turn the page onto 135 and beyond, we're going to have our colour collections that you're used to seeing in the catalogue. So each page has its own collection. Each page has its, for example, this one here is our Subtles collection. We have all of our colours, plus our cardstock, ink, blends, markers, everything you can find in those colour range already down here. And as we keep going along, you'll have every colour family of brights, regals, neutrals, and then over here on page 139 we have our in colours. And let me introduce you to the new in colours for this catalogue. We have Pretty in Pink, and for those of you who don't know, Pretty in Pink is actually an original core colour of Stampin' Up. So many years ago this was one of our core colours, so it's exciting to see it come back as an in colour. Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petuna Pop. I'm loving the bright colours that we have of this colour palette this season, and I'm excited to be able to share you more detail about our in colours in our upcoming catalogue launch. Now, the other thing to get excited about is that we have a new basic colour. Down the bottom here we have all our basic colours. So this is where we'll find our black, our white, our vanilla, and we have our new basic beige. So let me introduce you to our new colour. This is our basic beige cardstock. It also comes with a stamp and coordinating ribbon. One thing I love about Stampin' Up, everything coordinates. You've got your ink, your ribbon, your markers, your papers. They all coordinate beautifully together. Stampin' Up, don't miss out on anything. Now, some of you might be thinking that our beige is looking very familiar to what we used to have as Sahara sand. So this here is a piece of Sahara sand, a little swatch that I've got. So you can see that it is a little bit lighter, or definitely a lot lighter than Sahara sand. So a couple of other things to note in this new catalogue. We're going to go back a little bit here. I'm going to share with you our embellishments, where you can find all your ribbons and embellishments. These here is from page 112. Once again, we have our pictures of all of our ribbons that you can find here, and on the right hand side you'll find the product code, as well as any more information that you need, like for example that it is 4.6 meters in length, or 9.1 meters in length, or 5 yards and 10 yards. So you find the So if we turn to 112, we're going to find all of our current ribbon range. And so everything is right here. We've got our in colours, all colour coordinated, so you can see the colours as well as on the right hand side, these numbers coordinate with the color, and you have the price, the length of the ribbon, and all your product codes that are needed as well. And then we turn the page on 114 to 115, we have all our embellishments. Now this year you'll notice that your embellishments are being blown up a bit, so we get a little bit more of a look-see as to what these embellishments actually look like. And obviously on the right hand side we have all the information that corresponds with that as well, by the product code, how many pieces you're going to find in the container, as well as the price. The next one is 116 to 117 is our adhesive page. Now I'm in love in how Stampin' Up! Have actually delivered this particular product, or this particular. Now I'm excited about how Stampin' Up! Actually showcased this product for us in our catalogue. We have a key right down here that tells us what our adhesive can be used on. It can be used on cardstock, ribbon, embellishments, die cuts, and 3D projects. And then every individual adhesive type shows you where you would actually use those. So adhesive sheets, you'd only ever use them when you're die cutting pieces. Whereas our mini glue dots can be used on cardstock, ribbon, embellishments, and on our die cut pieces as well. So no more guesswork as to what adhesive is best for my project. The answer is right here for you. Well, that's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining us. And the Crafting Across Borders team, we have showcased this annual catalogue with you. We can't wait until we meet again on Friday the 10th of May and Saturday the 11th of May to take a deep dive into this catalogue and share you some amazing projects and tips and techniques that will help you to enhance your projects. Thanks again for joining us for this event, and we'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.